Hello, today we're going to do, let's see, what are we, 5.4 now? So our warm up are these couple of circles. And number one, we're looking for arc ACV. So it's written with three letters to tell us to kind of follow that order, A all the way around to C, continue until you hit B. And so it's that major arc. What we need is this angle here because the measure of the arc is equal to the central angle. Yeah, sorry, checking my vocabulary. Yeah, that's correct. So since we know a full circle is 180 degrees, we'll take the, not 100, what am I talking about? It's 360 degrees. We'll take that and subtract the 122, and we're going to get 238. So ACV, arc ACV is 238 degrees. Subtract. Okay, just subtract. Again, that's for a measure. If it asked for the length, that's a whole different kind of problem. I believe we're going to get to that in a bit. This one has these two chords, AB, DC, and these two segments that are perpendicular to the chords. The two chords are equal, or I'm sorry, congruent. And these segments, we're asking for this segment here, EF, that's this guy. If they're perpendicular here, and if the chords are equal, that means the segments are congruent. I should have said the chords are congruent, the segments are congruent. So EF is also 2.4. Okay. Warm up done. Those are all just rules we need to have, at the ready that we know. Pretty simple ones though. Today, again, gosh, we're only doing 4 problems, but actually I'm going to throw an extra problem on here because, let's just zoom way in. Because there's one more type that will show up on the Apex quiz that I wanted to make sure you've had some experience with. I think I'm going to use a little color on this. All right, they say AB, they say arc AB and arc CD are congruent. So arc AB, I want to mark that. This is congruent to this guy. Okay. What is the measure of angle AOB? So we're looking for A to O to B. We're looking for this angle right here. Well, if these arcs are equal, and the arc is yes, if the arcs are equal and the arc is equal to that central angle, this arc is 25 degrees, its measure, and that means they're congruent. So this one's also 25 degrees. And just like the arc is equal to the central angle is equal to the arc. So angle AOB is equal to 25 degrees. Okay? Moving on. I always want to pause for questions. It makes no sense in a recording. Okay, arc AB. I'm going to get some color again. Arc AB and arc CD are congruent. Those are congruent. All right. What is, it got cut off, the measure of COD? So we're looking for COD. Well, I wanted to say because they're vertical, they're equal, but I suppose we would need a little more actual evidence to prove those are vertical. They certainly look like it. If it said CB is a diagonal and AD is a diagonal, then we would know for sure they're vertical, and we could just use vertical angles. But it's all right, we can still solve it because the central angle is equal to the arc. And if these are congruent, this is also 101 degrees, and the central angle is equal to the arc. So COD, angle COD is 101 degrees. Pretty much the same as the last one, slightly different. All right, moving on. Number 3, we're almost done. So silly how quick these are. Arc AB. Again, they're talking about an arc because we also have a, oops, I want to get closer on it. We also have a chord AB, but they're talking about the arc AB. And arc CD are congruent. Let's see if I can actually put on the arc. Those are congruent. They are the same. What is the measure of chord AB? Okay, well, you probably just want to say 4, and it's true, but let's just think about why it's true. So if these arcs are the same, we know their central angles equals the arc. So we have 50 degrees here, and this one's 50 degrees, which makes this angle 50 degrees, okay? We also know, looking at this triangle, OD is a radius, and OC is also a radius. Even though I don't know the measure of the radius, I know those are equal. And over here, OA is a radius, and OB is a radius, and they're equal to the other two radii. So what we have are some triangles that are congruent by angle, side, angle. Over here as well, angle, side, angle. The two triangles are congruent, and we can use congruent triangles means congruent parts. Therefore, AB is 4. Really by congruent triangles. I know you just wanted to answer 4, and that's fine. On the Apex quiz, you'll get it right, but there's really a little more to proving it. All right. Number 4, kind of similar. Let's just start. I haven't even read it, but I'm just going to mark some things. That radius is equal to that radius, which is equal to that radius, which is equal to that radius. And then they tell us arc AB is congruent to arc CD. I always say equal, and I should be saying congruent. Sorry. What is the measure of chord AB? Again, you probably just want to jump in and say 21, but for the same reason, we have the arcs are congruent. They are equal to the central angle. The central angle is equal to the arc. It's like the same problem. Why am I even spending time on it? So chord AB is 65 degrees. Okay. So super simple. Again, this chapter is interesting how simple they're making it. I do want to, I should have had it prepared. Give me just a second. I want to go over one more problem I'm going to make up for us to make sure we're going to ace this next quiz. So what if I gave you a circle? See how well I can pull off my circle. Not terrible, not great. We're going to have circle with some radii. Sorry, I meant to have it ready for you. Let's see. So we're going to call this A. You could write this down. I would if I was you. It's circle D. Oops, see. And over here we have 98 degrees. And the information that you would be given on a problem that I'm making up here is that arc AB is congruent to arc BC. And the question is, what is angle BDC? Okay, so we know we have some congruent parts. I'm going to use orange. AB, I didn't draw this perfect, obviously. AB is congruent to BC. These are the same. What that tells us is this angle is equal to this angle, right? Because if those arcs are equal, their central angles are also equal. I don't know what those angles are. I'm going to call them some unknown value. That's what I'm looking for, X. If that one's X, this one's also X. I know that all three of these angles, the 98 degrees, the X, and the X, all three of them are going to add up to, I want you to say it, but you're not really there, 360 degrees. So 98 plus X is 360. And I'm going to stop there and let you take the problem from there. So combine your like terms, subtract 98, divide by 2, and you have the X value. The X value is angle BDC. BDC. Okay? Good. Done and done. Super simple. Again, you've got this. You're going to ace the quiz. Have a great day.